Hey mamas, this is my very first live stream. I've never done this before, but I just want to give a really quick update. And I'm not at home because we're actually at the hospital and our lives changed completely overnight. I ended up having what's called a placental abruption, which landed us in the hospital about a week and a half ago, and things have just gotten a little crazier from there. So as I've been going through this experience though, and like thinking of you guys and thinking about just how to handle hard, I've thought about the word hope. And I love the acronym that I heard years ago for the word hope. And it's hold on, pain ends. And I just love that because with everything that we've gone through and everything that our future now will look like, I've just realized that pain really is temporary. And so a little bit of background of what happened to us is I ended up randomly bleeding. We had to go into the hospital. We were actually out of town, which made things really complicated. Um, but we ended up going into a hospital, and my contractions were coming about 2 minutes apart. I was bleeding. We didn't know why. It was really fast. I'm signing paperwork for, emergency C-section, and they're putting an IV in me. And luckily, things over a number of hours slowed down, and I was eventually able to be let go, which I was really grateful about. Came home, I took it really chill, and then this last weekend I started bleeding again, and it was the same thing. They said it can just happen. And so I had to go back into the hospital, do everything all over again. Contractions came again really close together. So placental abruption, I didn't know any of this before this happened to me. But a placental abruption is where the placenta tears away from the uterine wall. And so it can get pretty scary really quick. And it doesn't have anything to do with the other complications I've had. So it's just really, really random that this has happened. And it's been really stressful for our family for the last week, because I thought I was going to be able to be let go earlier this week. And then I bled again for a third time. And so they have kept me. I'll be able to go home 24 hours after I stop bleeding. And the hard thing is with this type of condition, apparently, at least my doctors have been telling me, they call it like a 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out. And if I go home and if I bleed again, I will likely be in the hospital until this baby comes. So it's just been a really overwhelming experience. I wanted to ask any mom out there that has been hospitalized for long-term tips, thoughts, perspectives, because just being here for the amount of time I've had has been hard, being away from my littles at home. But I know so much of life is perspective, and so I'm trying to really keep a positive attitude. But I just love this community. I love having moms out there that know all sorts of different things. I've had a lot of experience in some cases and in some ways, and other times I've had no experience. And one of those ways that I would love input on is NICU time, because my doctor said at this point I'd be lucky to make it to about 34 weeks. I'm 30 weeks today. Halloween would be 32 weeks. But I've never, ever had a baby in the NICU. So if anyone out there has any advice or experience with babies in the NICU, I would love to hear your advice, because that very much may be our reality. So I hope everyone out there is doing well. We're hoping for the best here and trying to stay positive and truly holding on to hope, because I know at some point all of this will end and we'll be able to make it through. And I'm very glad that we've made it to 30 weeks instead of when all this happened at 28 weeks. So we're taking it one day at a time. And I'd just love to hear from all of you and anyone that has had any experience in this regard. See you guys.